Alright, we're back for the second match in the league, but first match in the video. This hand is close. So we have 4 1-mana plays. We're on the draw. We'll try it. Looks like we might be up against the mirror match again. Nope. Hammertime. Interesting choice. Okay. So I think we have to deploy a Goblin Guide here, even risking our opponent going like another 0-mana artifact, Pure Steel Paladins. Kind of annoying, but Stoneforge Mystic. Shadow Spear. Okay. Bless you. Alright, gotta hope our opponent doesn't have white source into missing our second land drop may end up killing us regardless. Okay, well, another white source, which is a positive at least. Interesting that they would go this route. Land. Okay, so decent chance we could run face first into a whatchamacallit. Yeah, Kadolfa. Alright. So we're dead because they can just attach this to a, make this a 6/6. And I'd say a good game, but I don't like to lie. Okay, those go out. Smashes come in. Reflecting Palms come in. Boros Charms are middling. Yes, they do more damage, but they don't interact with their opponent's creatures. And the Skewer could be a bit awkward. Skullcrack is relevant against protection from red creatures, against our creatures specifically, and in racing situations with Shadow Spear. Serving Blaze, obviously. Lightning Helix is fine. Riftbolt does its thing. So, I guess we can leave the Skewers in, huh? So, those out, these in. Seems fine. So, I'd like to play first. This hand has too many lands. It's kind of tough, right? Because, like, these 2 plus Skewers seem a fine opening, but if we draw 1 more land, even, we're just losing this game. We could mulligan, but then we're down on resources anyway, and probably won't have as good an opener. So as much as I hate keeping 4 landers, and generally don't, this is one of those hands that you probably just have to keep. Goblin Guide, go. Pure Steel Paladin, which is terrifying. Okay. Alright, so we get one of our better openers. Doesn't involve playing the whatchamacallit tax. Play an Ornithopter. Do they have a second land? Yes, they do. Sanctifier and Vec. Relief Drum. Obviously that can block one of these, or just kill Goblin Guide straight up. Opponent might also be thinking about playing around Skullcrack here. So just let the opponent draw a card. Don't really like it, but hold up. Deflecting Palm here. So the problem in this situation here is if our opponent's smart, they'll play around Deflecting Palm. Unless they have something like Mantide or potentially Spell Pierce now. So okay, I'll play a Shadow Spear. Just annoying enough that we have to play it here. And we draw land, so we probably die. I could have waited to try to hold up that Deflecting Palm, but it just gets much worse as the game goes on. So now they have Pure Steel Paladin in hand. Why would you... Okay. Alright, if we would held off, maybe we could have gotten them here, but hard to say. Alright, back for match number 3 in the league, number 2 on the video. I'd like to play first. Sound seems perfectly fine. Obviously leading off on Riftbolt. I have 13 points of burn in hand, so lead on Riftbolt. Very few things can punish this for that turn 1. So not honestly sure what this is. Could be a variant of Hammertime with a slow opener, perhaps? Aren't too many decks that actually play that. Could be Belcher or Oops, perhaps? I guess more likely to be Oops than Belcher. Okay, looks like we're up against Belcher. So, don't think we kill them here, but we can make their life significantly worse. Puts them to 5, that way they can't shock in a okay, so we're up against Belcher. Can they kill us this turn? Looks like the answer is no, but we do need to draw another spell here. That isn't Searing Blaze. Even if they have Pact Negation, they're still dead to Spirit Trigger here. Alright, that is a good match to steal game 1, because I think it gets a lot tougher post-board. Alright, so Goblin, Char Belcher. And Modern up against Into the Mythic. So Landline Sanctity is certainly a card to be noticeable of. Pretty sure it's a 4 of in most of these decks. So definitely bring in all non-directed forms of damage. These are all fine. Good bit of their deck is... Chalice just doesn't do anything. Could bring in Sanctifier just to have more creature beats. Searing Blaze is definitely out. Riftbolt goes out. Skullcrack. Don't typically think they gain life, so maybe it's like Lightning Helix and a Skullcrack. Obviously, one of the cards they can bring in potentially against us is Blood Moon, although this hand is something. I think we keep it because we have Swift Spear into spells if necessary, Rolling Vortex to at least put them on a clock. Keeping in mind if they mulligan to Leyline that... Oh, they have Serum Powder in their list? Interesting. 2. It's an interesting hand. Only seems to be one off of actually being keepable, that being a payoff. Okay, so you have Leyline in your opener. Shocker. Alright. Basically, our only draws that are relevant at this point are Smash and... Actually, does Smash even have relevant text? They have Char Belcher and EE, but they don't really have... like artifact mana, like whatchamacallit does. Okay. Split Ritual into Belcher. Go and do damage to ourselves. At least get to look at their entire deck, so we're not going to concede or force them to kill us with Belcher. And with us holding up 2 mana, they might play around. Okay, so they've got Leylines, packs, at least one Pact of Negation, 2 Packs of Negation, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1 Serum Powder, 2 Serum Powder, maybe a 3rd in hand. They don't seem to be on the whatchamacallit thing or plan. Recross the paths. So it looks like they're a little bit more all in, just trying to get the thing to happen. Alright, I guess I'd like to play first. This hand is excellent. Tubular. Yep. You got your card in the matchup. Hopefully you don't have Pact of Negation. Nice part about Goblin Guide in this matchup, there's no downside. Because we're literally never drawing them lands. I mean, downside here is we could just die on 2, but especially with that being one of their draws. Alright, fortunately we're not dead here. Discard a card at random. Okay, interesting card. Alright, just don't show us pack negation. Yep, 4 mana. Okay, so you're dead. Got it. Basically, as soon as our opponent played Iron Crag of Feet, if they had Pact of Negation in hand, didn't matter because they could only cast one more spell, that being Belcher. Deflecting Palm wins. Alright, taking a look at this hand, game 3. On the draw, this hand's very middling. We have nothing we can realistically cast on one. Couple Canopy lands. I think I'm inclined to actually mulligan this one, even though the hand overall is probably okay. Okay, guess we'll keep this one on the draw. Get rid of Skullcrack, I guess. Alright, second Burn League, got it. Obviously this gets awkward if our opponent has a Roiling Vortex. I got nailed by that round 1 of this league. Which ironically, generally not relevant in these burn mirrors, but certainly hurt when your opponent goes Roiling Vortex on 2 and you have to take 6. So alright, at least we drew a land. Painful, but we drew a land. Opponent with a Boros Charm. We respond with a Lightning Helix. With a Helix of their own. Yep. Skewer. Yep. Down to 9. And pass. A card should not be relevant in the mirror match, but just seems to come up. Alright, so Deflecting Palms in, Vortexies out, Shape a Riftbolt, I guess, because I get tired of losing to that particular combo. See, if I were building my own version of Burn, or working on my own version of Burn, Vortex wouldn't be in the main, so it wouldn't be something I'd be thinking about, but just because so many people have cut Eidolon and are playing Vortex, it's the second time we've gotten hit with it in a game one. So some people like to bring in Sanctifier. I don't like it in the mirror match. It's pro-red, but sometimes you have to jump through hoops to cast it, and those hoops usually cost your life, which just isn't worth it for a non-hasty 2-2. I set that to play first. 5-lander can't keep. Yeah. Pretty middling. 6-lander or 6-card hand, but alright, Swift Spear, go. Riftbolt, go. So, seems unlikely our opponent has a creature. They want to Riftbolt our Swift Spear. I think I'm perfectly fine with that. Yep. Sure. Pass turn. Skewer the Critic's a bit awkward. Alright. Put it to 6. The skewer's getting really awkward. Mm-hmm. We risk having our opponent having a 1-mana play here. Alright, and we lose the second rematch of the league. So in a weird twist, we finish up the league with a free win, as our opponent was 0-4 apparently. What can we really learn from this league? Roiling Vortex in the mirror match is good against one specific card, and if you don't cast it on turn 1, and you're on the play, you can cost you 5 life. Beyond that, I think if you're going into a league, you probably don't want Orvar in your sideboard. You just don't see enough creativity. Now, by all means, if you're going into a prelim or if you're going into a challenge or a PTQ or some type of big local event, by all means, build a sideboard like this. This sideboard is very heavily slanted toward the top decks of the meta. You know, you have like 6 cards against Cascade, you have extra insurance against creativity, you have, you know, generally about the same number of things you want against Scam and Breach. You have quite a few smashes and deflecting palms against Hammertime. So if this is a deck you're looking to compete with, this is certainly a build that could potentially do well in bigger events. Burn overall has been very medium lately, even with, you know, whether you play Eidolon, don't play Eidolon. You know, a lot of the top decks you're just a dog against, and then sometimes variance catches you. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. Like this time we lost 2 mirror matches, one of which on cam, one of which off cam. Got a little bit lucky to beat Belcher. And then, obviously, Hammer is Hammer. And no idea what our 5th round opponent was playing. So, 2-3, not the best overall. 1-3 in reality, but 0-2 against the mirror match. But, you know, I constantly harp about how I don't like Fiery Islet because of the damage you take. I don't know how many times this league the points of damage were relevant, not necessarily from Islet, but from Canopy Lanes in general. So take that with a grain of salt. I usually like to run Sekenzin, but Burn's a reasonable deck. It's not tier 1 by any stretch, but you know you have good matchups. You have Scam, you have Mill, you have creativity to a certain degree. Murktide's the closest matchup, but Hammer, Amulet, Living End now with all the ley lines in the sideboard, Rhinos are all kind of tough matchups, so be that as it may, we'll continue plodding on, but Burn has not been at the best of where it's been in quite some time. But if you like Burn content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hope to see you for next week's video.